Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. There are very few shows that leave a legacy so strong, so emotionally charged, and so unforgettable that even years after they end, fans still talk about them with passion, curiosity, and nostalgia. One of those shows was American Chopper. It wasn't just about motorcycles. It was about family, conflict, craftsmanship, and the high-octane journey of chasing dreams while trying to hold relationships together. Today, we're diving deep into the lives of the iconic cast of American Chopper, uncovering the truth about what happened after the cameras stopped rolling. What became of the fiery Paul Teutul Sr.? Where did Paul Jr.'s path lead him? What happened to Mikey, the heart of the show, who brought humor to the chaos? And what about the lesser-known but equally essential members, like Petko and Vinnie DiMartino? This is their story, the untold truth of what happened after American Chopper ended. At the center of the storm was Paul Teutul Sr., a man as tough as steel and as stubborn as they come. He wasn't just a character, he was the show. The founder of Orange County Choppers, Paul Sr. built his empire from the ground up, turning wrenches and dreams into custom motorcycle art. But behind the gruff exterior was a man wrestling with more than just business challenges. His relationship with his son, Paul Jr., was strained to the point of collapse. Their on-camera fights were legendary, and while they made for compelling television, they also revealed the deep emotional wounds between father and son. After the show's original run ended, Paul Sr. faced an even more brutal reality: legal battles, business troubles, and a very public bankruptcy. In 2018, he filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, claiming debts of over $1 million and assets worth just a fraction of that. The very empire he had built was crumbling. Yet through all the setbacks, Paul Sr. never let go of his passion for motorcycles. He continued to work at OCC, still building bikes, and still holding on to the identity that had made him a household name. For him, custom motorcycles weren't just a business, they were a way of life. Then there's Paul Teutul Jr., or Paulie, the creative genius behind some of the most jaw-dropping bikes the show ever produced. His designs weren't just mechanical. They were emotional, artistic expressions of a visionary mind. But working with his father proved to be unbearable. The constant clashing, the yelling, the control. It drove Paul Jr. away, both emotionally and physically. He left OCC and started his own company, Paul Jr. Designs, which quickly became a success. Unlike his father, Paul Jr. focused on collaboration, innovation, and calm leadership. His designs caught the attention of major brands, including Disney, Geico, and even MLB. But the shadow of his father's legacy never truly disappeared. There was always that lingering question: could he build his own legacy, independent of the Teutul name? Over time, Paul Jr. not only answered that question, he redefined it. He stepped into fatherhood, embraced family life, and even mended fences with his dad, at least to some degree. His journey is one of transformation, growth, and the courage to break away from a toxic cycle while still honoring the roots that shaped him. And who could forget Mikey Teutul? The comic relief, the sweet soul, the peacekeeper. Mikey was the emotional glue of American Chopper. Even as he struggled with his own demons, he tried desperately to keep the family together, often finding himself caught in the crossfire between his father and brother. His journey after the show was quieter, more introspective. Mikey struggled with substance abuse and mental health issues, stepping away from the spotlight to focus on healing. He pursued his love for art, painting, photography, and personal expression that allowed him to process the chaos he had lived through. Mikey opened a gallery for a while, sharing his work and letting fans see a different side of him. While he hasn't returned to television in a major way, he continues to live life on his own terms. Far from the roar of motorcycles and reality TV drama, his story is one of quiet resilience, of finding peace in a world that once felt like a war zone. But the Teutuls weren't the only ones who made American Chopper a phenomenon. Rick Petko was one of the most skilled fabricators at OCC. He wasn't about drama. He was about precision. Fans admired Rick for his calm demeanor and unmatched craftsmanship. After leaving OCC, Rick started his own metalworking business in Pennsylvania and focused on his family. He got married, had children, and began a life that was less flashy but deeply fulfilling. He also continues to create custom pieces, from motorcycles to metal art, still doing what he loves without the chaos of reality TV. Rick's story is proof that sometimes the best path is the quiet one, the one that prioritizes family, peace, and purpose. Then there's Vinnie DiMartino, another fan-favorite fabricator who decided he needed to break away from the OCC machine. Vinnie left to start V-Force Customs, where he could have creative control and run a business on his own terms. He was always passionate, driven, and kind-hearted, and those qualities helped him build a loyal following. Even after he left the show, his shop continued to thrive, producing high-quality builds and maintaining the integrity and authenticity that Vinnie was known for. Unlike the Teutuls, Vinnie managed to steer clear of public drama and focus on what mattered most: his family, his work, and his reputation. Occasionally, he still pops up at motorcycle events, always greeted with respect and admiration from fans who never forgot his role in the show's golden years. As the years passed, American Chopper became more than just a memory. It became a symbol of passion, conflict, craftsmanship, and most of all, redemption. The show returned for a reboot in 2018, giving fans a bittersweet glimpse into how much and how little had changed. Paul Sr. and Paul Jr. attempted to rebuild their relationship, and while some wounds were too deep to fully heal, there were moments of understanding and even forgiveness. The reboot reminded fans that time doesn't erase the past, but it can soften its edges. The bikes were still beautiful, but it was the human stories that now took center stage. Fans weren't just interested in machines. They wanted to know about the hearts and souls of the people behind them. And that's what makes this story so powerful. It's not just about where they are now, it's about how they got there. Paul Sr., still building bikes, still larger than life. Paul Jr., a successful entrepreneur and father, finding balance and peace. Mikey, quietly living life as an artist, away from the spotlight. Rick and Vinnie, thriving in their own right, proving that success doesn't have to come with fame. Together, they represent the many paths a person can take after fame fades, paths filled with struggle, growth, and resilience. The legacy of American Chopper isn't just in the bikes. They're in the scars, the reconciliations, and the people who learned to survive and thrive after the cameras stopped rolling. Fans of the show still remember the iconic arguments, the triumphant builds, and the raw, real emotions that made the series unforgettable. But most importantly, they remember the lessons. Lessons about family, about business, about pride, and about what happens when all three collide. It's a story that continues to inspire and resonate, because it's not just about motorcycles. It's about being human. So what do we take away from all of this? That success comes in many forms. That healing is possible, even if it's slow. That the past doesn't define the future. and that even the loudest engines can't drown out the voice of the heart. From the shop floor of Orange County choppers to quiet studios, family homes, and small-town garages, the cast of American Chopper has spread out across the country, each finding their own way to keep moving forward. Some chose the spotlight, others chose solitude, but all of them chose authenticity. And maybe that's the greatest custom build of all. Thank you for watching Daily Gossip. If you found this story as emotional and fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Which cast member's journey surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, keep chasing your passions and never forget, behind every engine is a story waiting to be told.